The sky above was dark. Red fireballs lit the battlefield in space. Broken ships floated like dead bodies. The war between humans and aliens had left nothing but pain. Smoke covered the metal floor of the battle station. Sparks flew from broken wires. Dead soldiers, human and alien, lay everywhere. It was silent now. Too silent. A young human soldier named Raiden walked slowly through the battlefield. His face was dirty, his eyes were wide, he was breathing fast. This was his first real war. His radio was broken. His team was gone. He didn't know if anyone was still alive. Suddenly Raiden heard a weak sound, like a whisper. It came from behind. A broken alien vehicle. Cautiously, he stepped closer, holding his plasma rifle tight. He pointed it at the sound. There, lying on the ground, was a tall alien. His silver armor was cracked. His body was burned. He had 4 arms, but none of them moved. His legs were twisted. His chest rose slowly. He was still alive. Raiden stepped back. This was a Zarnok warrior, one of the most feared enemies of humans. Everyone knew stories about the Zarnok. They were strong, fast, and cruel. They killed without mercy. But this one looked broken. The alien's eyes opened. They were deep green and glowing faintly. A small, round device on his neck blinked. It was a translator. A robotic voice came out of it. Slow, weak, human, help me. Raiden froze. Mine screamed. No, he's the enemy. He killed your people. He raised his gun. But the alien didn't move. He couldn't. They left me. My own people left me to die. Raiden's hands shook. Will you leave me too? Raiden didn't answer. His heart was racing. He looked around. Smoke. Death. Silence. No one would see him. He looked at the alien again. A great warrior, now helpless, not even able to lift one arm. I am not your enemy anymore, the voice said. I only wish to live. Raiden stepped closer. He noticed something strange. The alien's wounds didn't look natural. There were marks on his neck, like wires had been removed. It didn't look like battle damage. Something about this didn't feel right. Why did your people leave you? Raiden asked, slowly lowering his gun. Because I know something. Something they want to bury. The alien coughed. His translator made a static noise. Raiden looked around again. If someone found him here talking to a Zarnok warrior, he'd be in serious trouble. He might be arrested. Or worse, but something. In the alien's voice, it didn't sound like a lie. Raiden took off his backpack. He pulled out a small med kit. He crouched beside the alien. Don't move, he said. I can't, the alien replied with a dry laugh. Not anymore. Raiden started cleaning a wound on the alien's chest. The skin was tougher than human skin, but the blood was the same color, dark red. Almost like his own. What's your name? Raiden asked. Gervak, the alien said. Was Raiden raised an eyebrow? Now, I am nothing. There was a pause. Suddenly a loud alarm echoed through the station. Red lights flashed. Raiden looked up. His heart dropped. Enemy ships were coming back. They weren't finished. Yet, he had 2 choices. Run, and leave the alien behind. Or stay, and help the one no one else would save. Raiden looked at Gervak. He saw pain, but he also saw something else. Truth. He pulled a blanket from his pack and threw it over the alien's armor. He started lifting him slowly, painfully. I must be crazy, Raiden muttered, but I'm not leaving you here. As he dragged the heavy body across the floor, Gervak spoke again. You're the first human to show me mercy. Raiden didn't reply. He was breathing hard. Every step felt heavy. The alarm got louder. The floor shook. Behind them, shadows moved. Raiden knew. Someone was watching, and this choice had just changed everything. Asterisk, the lights flickered. Somewhere deep inside the human battle station, a camera lens turned silently, watching the shadow of a soldier dragging a broken alien body through the smoke. No alarms went off. No warnings. but someone had seen it. Raiden struggled down a dark hallway, carrying the half-unconscious alien warrior. Gervak's weight pulled on his shoulder like iron. The station's loudspeakers echoed with warnings. Enemy forces detected. Prepare for lockdown. All units report to defense positions, but Raiden didn't move toward safety. Was headed the other way. He turned into an old storage corridor, one rarely used since the station's first days. The walls were rusted. The lights blinked. Dust floated in the air like ghosts. Raiden pushed open a heavy maintenance door. Inside it was cold and quiet. He dropped Gervak gently on a metal bench. The alien groaned but didn't open his eyes. Raiden locked the door. He sat down, breathing hard, staring at the alien. "What the hell am I doing?" he whispered. This was madness. He had just broken every rule, helped an enemy, hid him inside a military base. If anyone found out, he'd be court-martialed. Maybe worse, but something inside him had made the choice already. It was too late to turn back. 30 minutes passed. Raiden cleaned Gervak's wounds again. The alien's skin was healing fast. Faster than human bodies. But the damage to his spine was serious. Couldn't move his legs. His arms were still weak. Finally, the alien's glowing eyes opened again. "You stayed," Gervak said slowly. Raiden didn't speak. "Why?" the alien asked. Raydn shrugged. "I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired of watching people die for nothing." Gervak studied him, then said something that sent chills down Raiden's back. "They will come for you. When they find out I'm alive, they'll come for both of us." Raiden looked at him then. "Tell me."
"Oh, why did they
"Leave you behind? What do you know that's so dangerous?" Gervak leaned back against the wall. His voice was soft but clear. "I led an operation near the outer rings. The team and I discovered something buried under an old mining planet. Not human, not Zarnak. Older, technology that could change. Everything? A weapon?" Raiden asked. "A warning," Gervak replied. "And then, a trap." He paused. "When I refused to follow the plan, they turned on me. My own soldiers shot me in the back. My commander ordered my body left behind. They thought I'd die with honor." He gave a broken laugh. "I didn't." Suddenly a knock. 3 short taps, and silence. Raiden jumped to his feet. "Gun ready, Raiden." A voice came from behind the door. "Me, Kira." Kira, his closest friend in the unit. Raiden hesitated, and opened the door a few inches. Kira stepped in and froze. Her eyes landed on the alien. Her mouth dropped open. "What the hell is that doing here?" "Keep your voice down, Raiden," said. "He's not what we thought. He's an enemy," she snapped. "You brought him into the station. Are you insane?" Raiden stepped between her and the alien. "He's not our enemy. Not anymore. He's been betrayed. Just like us." "You don't know that," she said coldly. "I do," Raiden replied. "He knows something. Something big. They wanted him dead for it." Kira looked at Gervak again, then back at Raiden. "You need to report this." "I can't." There was a long pause. "Then at least hide him better," Kira whispered. "Because if I found you, others will too." Outside, unknown to them all, a small spider-like drone crawled along the ceiling vent. It had seen everything. It sent a silent signal back to command. Inside, control room, on the other side of the ship, a figure stood in the dark, watching the footage. He smiled. "So, the traitor has made his choice." Back in the storage room, Gervak opened his eyes again. "You didn't leave," he said. Raiden sat beside him. He handed the alien a water pouch. "No, I didn't. Then this is where it begins." Asterisk, the lights were too bright. Raiden blinked as he stared at his shaking hands. Blood, dirt, oil. He had no idea which belonged to the alien, and which was his own. He looked down at the small metal object lying on the table. It was covered in black liquid, still warm. He hadn't meant to find it. He was just trying to clean Gervak's wound, a deep cut near the spine. But as he wiped away the blood, his fingers hit something hard under the skin, something not natural. So he had pulled it out, and now it sat there. A silver shard with blinking lights and moving lines, across its surface. Not human tech, not alien either, something else. In the dark corner of the storage room, Gervac opened one eye. His voice was quiet. "You found it." Raiden didn't speak. He just nodded. "I wasn't supposed to know it was there," Gervac continued. "They implanted it in my spine 2 years ago. They said it was for medical tracking." I believed them. Raiden stepped back, still staring at the device. "It's not a tracker," he said. "It's something alive. I saw it move." As Gervac's jaw tightened. "It is a seed." Raiden frowned. "A seed, not of a plant, of a machine. A thinking one, ancient and dangerous." Far across the station, in the high-security command room, red lights flashed silently. A screen showed images from the vent drone, Raiden, Gervac, and now the silver device. A commander in black uniform leaned forward, eyes cold. "So the fool dug it out," he said. He turned to an officer. "We need that device, and the alien dead. Send the hunter." Back in the room, Raiden tried to speak, but his mouth was dry. "You said this came from a mining planet?" "Yes," Gervac said, sitting up slightly. His strength was returning, though he still couldn't move his legs. "Deep underground. It wasn't just rock down there. We found ruins. City buried in ice. No doors, no language. Only machines." "What kind of machines?" "Ones that didn't move until we touched them." Raiden listened carefully. His mind was racing. "The thing inside me," Gervac continued, "it spoke to me once. In dreams, it showed me a future where both humans and Zarnak are gone. Not from war, but from something colder, smarter, something waiting to be born." "And your people wanted to keep it secret?" Raiden asked. "No," Gervac said darkly. "They wanted to use it." Suddenly, a high-pitched noise rang out. A sharp pulse like a signal. Raiden covered his ears. The small device on the table blinked fast, red and green lights flashing. GOVACs widened. "It's awake." Raiden backed away. "What do you mean awake? What is it doing, calling something?" Across the ship, deep in the shadow of the cargo hangar, a black shape dropped from the ceiling. It landed without sound, tall, thin, no eyes. Long arms made of metal and muscle. Hunter-class retrieval unit, built by humans. Programmed by the same people who implanted the seed, it began to move fast. Raiden looked at the device. "We need to destroy it." "No," Gervac said. "If we destroy it, they'll know we know the truth. We need to hide it." Raiden thought for a moment, then grabbed a small tools box and stuffed the device inside, wrapping it in wires and metal plates to block its signal. "This won't hold forever," he said. "It doesn't need to," Gervac replied. "Just long enough for us to reach the broadcast tower." Raiden turned. "You want to tell everyone? Not just humans? Not just Zarnak? Everyone. This is bigger than both of us." Footsteps. Fast. Metal hitting metal. Raiden's. The heart jumped. He grabbed his rifle and moved to the door. "A shadow passed by the small window." Gervac whispered. "Too late. They sent the hunter." Raiden locked the door, but he knew it wouldn't matter. He turned back to Gervac. "Can you move at all?" Gervac clenched his jaw. "I'll try." He reached forward. The door exploded. The world turned white. Smoke filled the air as the door exploded inward. Metal pieces flew like shrapnel. The sound was deafening, a boom followed by silence so heavy. It felt like time had stopped. Raiden hit the floor hard, shielding his head. Sparks rained down from the ceiling. The storage room was now a wreck, but the real danger had just stepped in. It wasn't human. It wasn't alien. It was something worse. The hunter stood tall in the doorway, its black armor smooth like glass. It had no face. Only a long, sharp line. Where eyes should be glowing red, its arms were long, too long, ending in claw-like fingers that curled and clicked with every move. Raiden stared at it from the floor, gun half raised. The hunter did not speak. It didn't need to. It was here to kill. Gervac groaned, struggling to lift his arm. "Don't fight it," he said quickly. "It's faster than you, smarter, Built to end problems, not ask questions. Raiden didn't listen. He fired blue. Plasma bolts shot forward, hit the hunter straight in the chest. Smoke burst from the impact. But when the smoke cleared, the hunter was still standing, untouched. It tilted its head, then moved. Fast, too fast. Raiden was thrown across the room. His back slammed into a wall. His gun skidded across the floor. He groaned in pain. Gervac tried to crawl toward the toolbox, the one with the hidden device. The hunter sawed it, lunged toward him, but Raiden was already moving again, grabbed a broken pipe and slammed it into the hunter's leg. It paused just for a second, then turned to face him. That second was enough. Gervac pressed a button on the toolbox. A shock charge released, sending out a sudden electric wave. The hunter staggered. Now Gervac shouted. Raiden grabbed the alien and the box, then ran limping, breathing hard through the back maintenance tunnel. Behind them, the hunter screamed a horrible mechanical sound and started chasing. Minutes later, a locked side chamber deep in the ship's underbelly. They stopped to breathe. Raiden dropped to his knees. That thing, it didn't even bleed. Wasn't meant to bleed, Gervac said. It was meant to silence. Raiden looked at him. Why didn't you warn me sooner? Because I didn't think they'd send one this fast. The alien said, they're desperate. That means we're getting close to something they fear. Just then, the door opened. Raiden jumped, aiming his backup pistol. Kira stood there, breathless, eyes wide. They're looking for you everywhere, she said. Raiden, what did you do? Raiden lowered the pistol. I found the truth, he said, or at least part of it. He showed her the box. Carefully opened the lid. Kira stared at the strange device. The moving lights. The alien symbols etched along the edge. That's not Zarnok tech. It's older, Gervac said. It's a seed. It was growing inside me. Inside you? Oh, Kira whispered. Rayden nodded. They put it in him to track the tech. But it didn't just record. Learned, it adapted. Kira looked pale. Raiden, you need to destroy it. No, he said. You need to show it to the galaxy. Kira was silent. Then she stepped back. Slowly, Raiden noticed something. Her hand was on her belt. Near her comes transmitter. Kira, what are you doing? She looked up, eyes full of conflict. I'm sorry, she said softly. Thought. You were helping an injured alien. But this is something else. You're risking the whole station. Raiden stepped forward. We trusted you. I have orders too, she said. About saving lives. Then why are you turning us in? He asked. Because you've already lost, she said. Almost whispering, a light blinked on her transmitter, signal sent. Raiden's heart sank. Far away.
Oh.
The commander in black received the message. He smiled again. Good girl.
Out.
He pressed a button. Seal the lower decks, send backup, and tell the hunter.
Ow.
No more holding back. Back in the chamber, Raiden looked at Kira. They're using you, just like they used him. I'm doing my duty, she replied. No, Gervac said. You've just joined the betrayal. Asterisk blood dripped on the floor, not from a wound, from a broken promise. Raiden stared at Kira's device still. Blinking red on the floor, she had tried to stop him. She believed following orders meant doing the right thing, but orders had changed. Truth had been buried. Now, the hunt had begun. Kira was unconscious, not dead. Raiden had only stunned her. But his hand still shook. He hated this. All of it behind him, Gervac leaned against the wall, breathing hard. His legs were still weak, but his arms had gained strength. She wasn't your enemy, Gervac said quietly. Raiden didn't answer. You didn't kill her. It's that matters, the alien added. Rayden finally looked at him. They'll come. For us now, all of them. Then we keep running, Gervac said, until we find someone who will listen. Across the station, red lights lit the hallways, steel doors locked in place. Sirens wailed. Security drones dropped from ceilings and in the shadows. The hunter moved again. Faster. Smarter. No longer in observe mode. Now in eliminate mode. Raiden dragged Gervac down the narrow tunnels, deeper into the belly of Cornas. The ship. They were beneath the power grid now, a maze of old pipes and flickering lights. No security cameras worked here. The system was too old. We can't go back, Raiden said. We need a way out. There's one. Gervac replied, the old docking bay, the one abandoned after the last Sarnak assault. That bay's not even on the maps anymore.
Exactly.
Gervac said. That's why they won't expect it. Raiden gave a tired smile. You really used to be a general, didn't you? Gervac grinned. I still am. Just. Seated, they reached a metal hatch. Rusted, old, almost welded shut. Raiden hit it hard, again and again. Finally, it opened with a loud creak. They stepped into the forgotten docking bay. Dust covered everything. Old crates, abandoned mechs. It's even an ancient shuttle half buried under scrap. But it could fly. Maybe this thing's older than both are. Wars, Raiden said. That's what makes it perfect, Gervac replied. They moved toward the shuttle slow. Careful then, they heard it tap. Tap, tap. Not footsteps. Claws. R-A-Y-D-E-N. Turned around, the hunter dropped from the ceiling. It landed. Silently, body unfolding like a nightmare. This time, it didn't wait. It launched forward like a missile Raiden fired. Gervac picked up a steel rod and swung it, the impact sending sparks across the bay. The hunter was hit, but it didn't slow. It grabbed Raiden by the neck and lifted him. Raiden gasped, kicked, tried to fight, but the metal grip was too strong. Then bang! A powerful shock hit the hunter from behind. It screamed and dropped RAYD, standing at the top of the stairs. Was Kira bruised? Angry? Rifle in hand? I didn't send backup, she said. I sent a warning. Raiden coughed and smiled. Took you long enough? Shut up and get to the shuttle, she shouted. The hunter turned to her, but Gervac tackled it, pinning it against a pillar. Go, the alien roared. I'll hold it. No. Raiden shouted. Now. Kira grabbed Raiden's arm and pulled him toward the ship. The engines were cold. She slammed her hand on the control panel. Get inside. I'll handle the takeoff. You can fly this thing. Q, but it's better than staying here. Behind them, Gervac struggled with the hunter. Metal tore. Sparks flew. The alien's body was breaking again, but he held on. He locked eyes with Raiden one last time. Live long enough. To tell the truth, he said. The ship roared to life. Raiden slammed the ramp shut. Outside, Gervac grabbed the shock rod and jammed it into the hunter's chest. A final surge of energy flooding the machine. The docking bay exploded in light. The shuttle burst from the station. Into open space, spinning, shaking, barely flying. Inside, Raiden slumped. To the floor. He stayed behind, he whispered. Kira nodded, tears in her eyes. He gave us a chance. Raiden opened the toolbox, the silver seed still pulsed inside. Still alive, still waiting? Then we have to use it, Raiden said. Tell everyone. What they've done? What they're hiding? Kira looked ahead, eyes firm now. Where do we go? Raiden looked at the stars. To someone who still believes in the truth, the stars were silent. Raiden had always thought space would be full of sound. Explosions, engines, radio chatter. But now, there was only silence. Cold. Endless, the stolen shuttle drifted through a quiet patch of space, far from war zones. Its engine made low, sick noises. It wouldn't last long. Raiden stood at the window, staring at the stars. But his mind was still in the docking bay, still with Gors, still seeing him holding back the hunter, giving them this chance. The only chance behind him, Kira worked on the ship's terminal. She had bypassed the controls, hacked into the old systems, and found something strange. Raiden, come look at this. He turned and walked over. On the screen, a message played, a video file. Not human, not alien, something else. The voice was mechanical, hollow. But the words were clear. Life is temporary. Code is forever. Your species are unstable. It will be corrected. Raiden frowned. Where did this come from? The device, Kira said. It's more than a seed. It's a recorder and a warning. It recorded what happened inside Gervac, she added. His dreams, his memories, his pain. She hit a button. The screen changed. Now they saw Gervak's memory. It was inside the alien ship 2 years ago. Dark halls, flickering blue lights. Zarnok soldiers laughing, celebrating. Gervak stood alone, staring at a long black tube. The machine they had found buried on the mining planet. He spoke with his commander. "We should destroy it." "No," the commander replied. "We sell it, share it with the humans. They'll pay anything to win." "It's not a weapon," Gervak said. "It's a mind." But they didn't listen. Later that night, they came for him, injected him, left him broken. The seed had been growing inside him ever since. Raiden stepped back from the screen. They both wanted to use it, our side and theirs. "War is business," Kira said quietly. "And this thing? It's the best business anyone's ever seen." Raiden looked down at the silver seed, still pulsing gently in the case. "It warned him," he whispered, "and now it's warning us." Suddenly, the screen blinked. A new voice came through the ship's system, deep and calm. Not from the seed, not from the galaxy. From someone alive. "Unknown vessel. Identify your restricted space. Identify yourself." Raiden quickly responded. "This is Lieutenant Raiden Voss, Human Alliance. We're carrying classified data. We need to speak with someone in command. Anyone who still has a conscience." There was a pause. Then, "Doc, at Station 9. You have 5 minutes.
Act!
Any tricks, you will be destroyed." Raiden looked at Kira. "That's the old rebel outpost. One shut down years ago." "Guess they never really shut it down," she said. "They landed rough." The shuttle shook as it touched the metal surface. Sparks flew again. The engines died inside the station. It was dark, but not empty. Raiden stepped off the ship, holding the case. A group of armed people stood waiting. Not soldiers, not rebels. Something in between. At their center stood a woman with silver hair and cold eyes. "You brought the alien device?" she asked. Raiden nodded, and the story that comes with it. They were taken inside. In a dim room filled with old tech and blinking monitors, Raiden placed the seed on a scanner. The device lit up the walls. With strange patterns, the woman leaned in. "You know what this is?" she asked. "Not exactly," Raiden said, "but it knows us. And it doesn't like what it sees. It's not the first one," she whispered. "We found one like it 10 years ago. It showed us the end of everything. We tried to warn people. They called us mad." "You're not mad," Kira said. "You're right." The lights flickered again. A map appeared on the main screen. Red dots all across human and Zarnok space. "These are the infected zones," the woman said. "It's places where the seeds have already spread. Slowly. Quietly." "It's not just a message," Raiden said, realizing. "It's a system. A virus." "No," the woman corrected him. "It's a judge. It watches. It learns. And when it's ready, it cleans." Raiden's hands clenched into fists. They buried the truth. Sacrificed Gervak. What? Lied to both sides. For what? The woman looked at him. For control. Always for control. "But it's too late now." Raiden looked up. "No, it's not." He grabbed the seed, turned toward the main terminal. "We go live, galaxy-wide. No more secrets." The woman hesitated, then nodded. "Then let them hear what they've tried to erase." The truth didn't explode. It whispered across the galaxy, through quiet radios, emergency screens, and dusty terminals long forgotten. The message began to spread. Not a weapon, not a threat, just a voice. A voice that said, "We were lied to." And people. Sent. Inside Station 9, Raiden stood in front of the broadcast terminal. The alien seed, glowing softly, was connected to the main system. Its data pulsed through cables like a heartbeat. Kira stood beside him, bruised but focused. The woman with silver hair, the leader of the old outpost, watched from behind. They didn't have an army. They didn't have time, but they had one final broadcast. Raiden looked into the camera. His voice was steady. "My name is Lieutenant Raiden Voss. I am a soldier of the Human Alliance. I fought in battles. I followed orders. I thought I knew who my enemies were." He paused. "I was wrong." The screen changed. Now it showed Gervak's memories. The betrayal. The machine, the war made for profit. Raiden continued. This war was not about peace or safety. It was about control. And those who control us have found something ancient, something powerful, something they thought they could use. The video cut to the seed, glowing alive. This isn't technology. It's judgment, and it's watching. Across the galaxy, the message played. On Zarnak warships, in human refugee zones, on backwater planets and city dash stations, soldiers paused, civilians gasped, some cried, some screamed, many turned their weapons. Away from each other in a command room deep inside a human flagship, the commander in black watched the feed in silence. His screen cracked under the pressure of his clenched fist. Shut it down. Can't, a tech said nervously. It's already been mirrored across open networks. It's everywhere. The commander turned, eyes cold, rage boiling. Then we killed the messenger.
Back at Station 9.
Alarms rang out. They've found us, someone yelled. A strike ship is inbound. Raiden turned to Kira. Get the data copied and scattered. Send it to every free station, every rebel group, every neutral planet. Kira nodded and ran to the console. Raiden grabbed his rifle. What are you doing? Asked the outpost leader. I'm going to make sure they don't reach this room. In the outer corridors, doors blew open. Armored soldiers stormed in. Raiden stood waiting in the dark, heart pounding. It wasn't thinking about winning. He was thinking about Gorvak, a warrior who had once been feared across the stars, left behind, broken, betrayed, but not forgotten, not anymore. You saved me once, Raiden whispered. Now it's my turn. He stepped into the corridor and opened fire. At the same time, the alien seed in the broadcast room pulsed faster, brighter. The woman stared at it. It's reacting. What? Kira looked at the screen. To what? The seed projected an image. A galaxy map. Red zones blinked. Then, slowly, some began to turn blue. People are listening, Kira whispered. They're choosing to stop fighting. The seed blinked one final message. Connection accepted. Begin, reset. And then, it went dark. Raiden fell to one knee in the hallway, out of ammo, breathing heavy. Blood on his face. Soldiers surrounded him, but they didn't shoot. One by one, they lowered their weapons. Their commander was yelling through their earpieces. But no one was listening anymore. 3 days later, quiet shuttle landed on neutral ground, a field of grass, untouched by fire. Humans in Zarnak gathered, staring at each other, not as enemies, but unsure allies. At the front of the human side stood Raiden. On the Zarnak side, a medical capsule was carried forward. Inside it, weak but alive. Gervak opened his eyes. Cheers didn't break out. No flags were raised, but something more powerful happened. Silence, understanding, and maybe hope. Later, in a recorded message sent across every open system, Raiden said, one warrior was abandoned.
How one human broke the rules to help him?
That's all it took to expose everything. Maybe peace doesn't begin with a treaty. Maybe it begins with a choice. One chance.